Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Tuesday, the 13th of February 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed down just a touch today to 7,604 points. Healthcare and telcos were among the worst performers, while utilities did best. Outside earnings results, which I'll talk about shortly, there wasn't a lot of movement among the large caps. The big 4 banks were higher. WiseTech Global and REA both lost around 1.5%, but that's about it. In terms of results, annuity and fund management group Challenger reported a 16% jump in underlying profits, beating market expectations on the back of a record half for annuity sales as customers opted to buy more longer-term products. That sent Challenger's share price up 9%, and it was the best performer of the top 200. Kevin Stokes' Seven West Media's profit tumbled more than 50% on the back of a weak advertising market. The group owns the Seven Network and the West Australian newspaper. Its share price tumbled 13%. Story number 2, it was another bad day for CSL, the country's third largest company, after it said it had dampened its near-term growth aspirations for its Vifor iron deficiency and kidney disease business. This is the business that CSL paid nearly $12 billion for in 2022 and has been a great hope of the pharmaceutical group. The news on Vifor overshadowed an otherwise strong result, with underlying December half profit up 11%. CSL's share price fell 3% today after its 5% fall yesterday. That came after the announcement that it had dropped its phase 3 trial of CSL 112, a drug purported to stop second heart attacks. The company has now lost about $12 billion in value over the past 2 trading sessions. The Vifor business is facing competition from generic competitors, as well as a budget policy in the US that encourages doctors to promote cheaper treatments for iron deficiency. Story number 3, building group James Hardie share price slid nearly 9% today after the company warned that it will take lower interest rates to fully reinvigorate the renovations market. Chief Executive Aaron Erter said the effects of rate rises in Australia, North America and Europe, that's James Hardie's major markets, were underestimated by some. The back half of this year was likely to be the point at which the renovations market improves. James Hardie generates about 65% of its revenues from renovating. It's been able to push through price rises and gain market share, meaning its net profit for the 3 months to the end of December was up sharply. But Mr. Erter said James Hardie had been winning market share from competitors, but those gains would become harder to repeat. Story number 4, Breville's share price tumbled 9% after the group revealed a disappointing half-year profit and a glum outlook from the homewares group. Essentially, Breville reduced its discounting during the half-year, and that cost it sales, sending profits lower. The highlights were a bounce back in sales of coffee machines in the US and improved sales of home cooking products, but the tough economic environment hampered sales across its main regions. Also, the closure of US retailer Bed Bath & Beyond did no favours for Breville. And finally, story number 5, 2 major Texas oil producers emerging in a $50 billion deal, the latest in a wave of consolidation in the US energy industry. Diamondback Energy will buy Endeavour Energy Resources, a sought-after privately held company that also had ConocoPhillips interested, in a cash and stock deal with Diamondback shareholders owning about 60% of the combined company. Now, both operate in the Permian Basin that straddles New Mexico and Texas. It was a bit of a burnt-out field, but thanks to technology advances over the past decade, including fracking, new oil and gas-rich shale fields have been developed. The basin is now the most productive oil and gas field in the US. There have been a bunch of big deals recently. ExxonMobil bought Pioneer Natural Resources for about $60 billion in October. Just after that, Chevron acquired Hess for $53 billion. That's it for the afternoon report for Tuesday, the 13th of February, 2024. Don't forget to follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, X and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. The top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.